What's up? I'm back. Sorry for missing last week. I knew it was going to happen eventually, but we are still back, and we are in first right now. Blinky did not play last week, obviously, but we'll take the first, you know. So looking good. We got 2-0 victories this time around, and yeah. So next week looks like they're streaming my game versus Finbar. Looks like Finn is playing Blinky and then me, so it looks like there will be some banger matchups this week. So definitely go and watch that if you can. But yeah, let's just get right into the games here. So first one is against Feneb. Now, Feneb told me that he said after the game that he was playing. He's not playing at home, so he wasn't on his normal setup, and unfortunately, he couldn't play moving. I would love to have like a really competitive moving game against him, but did not pan out that way, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll just get into the rounds and talk about them either way. So first round here, we are in Germany, and yeah, one thing about Germany that's kind of annoying is that if you look at the Street View coverage in any urban area, you'll notice it's really broken. Like, there's not really, like the lines don't really connect well, especially in like residential areas like this. So it can be hard to move around sometimes and find info. Uh, and so I was kind of struggling with that. The only thing I really found was this sign here, the bus stop sign. It said VGL on it. And I know like those usually have abbreviations that would kind of tell you the area, but unfortunately I didn't know it. But this architecture to the north there with that like dark brick kind of reminded me of the north. And we had a lot of hilliness as well, so the Hanover Bielefeld area kind of made sense in my mind there. And so we picked up some good points just by kind of vibe guessing, with the architecture and the landscape there. So that was good. I don't know what VGL stands for. I think it might have been like a smaller town in the area or smaller region, but yeah. Next round here is in Switzerland. This time we have French though. And that sign there said Neuchâtel, which is here. Now I was trying to find the rest of these town names, but fortunately I wasn't able to. Feneb did not go and move on this round. He was insta-sending, which happened more often throughout this game, which I know he didn't really want to, but wasn't really able to move much. So yeah, we pick up some points there again. Go into round 3, which was another Switzerland. And we go here, and we have some town names, Schongau and Misswangen, but neither of those are big. They're not really findable. They're just like village names, really. I was trying to scan around here, and I didn't find it, so I moved to around here somewhere. And I actually just like happened to click right next to Misswangen. That was completely on accident because I was not able to find any of that. But it looks like I made a really good guess there. Um, I mean, yeah, it was just kind of lucky there. I knew I scanned the other area and knew it wasn't there, so I thought, yeah, this area probably made sense. Next round here is Ohio. We have Ohio State Highway Shield. We have a few town names there, but they're all very small towns. I've never heard of them before. I was kind of taking a look at the landscape here, and it's like this hilly, forested landscape, which would probably lean you towards the southern, southeast part of the state. And so I do manage to find Chester Hill, which was on there, but Feneb with a little more time was able to kind of line it up pretty well and almost pulls out the 5K there. So that's good. He got some points back. At least was able to pinpoint that one. But we still got a good lead here. And we got a sign that says Osogbo, Osun State. I should have just remembered where Osogbo was, to be honest, because it's a massive city. But I was looking for which one Osun State was, and then I remembered, oh yeah, Osogbo is massive. Move into, I remember around this is 6. 6, yeah. We got a Japan round. This one was really interesting. Kanto pulls there. But I move over here and I get to a sign that's completely in English. Like, that is super unusual for Japan to have English on an address like that. And so you can literally just look for Tatebayashi, which I am able to find there, in Gunma-ken. So, very interesting sign. Feneb did not find that sign. He finds other signs which are not as useful. And he knew it was Kanto, so he wasn't going to be too far, but yeah, it looked like a very impressive guess on my part there, but I just like found the like golden sign for Japan there. I've never seen a sign that helpful before, fully in English like that, but we'll take that. Next one here, so we have Bengali on that, and I kind of can read some of the Bengali. I knew there was a B and an R there, and so I thought it was Barishal, but then I was like, oh wait, never mind, that does not say Barishal. It actually says Bagherat, but I did not remember where Bagherat was. It's a pretty small district, and I have forgotten about that one. But yeah, I don't know, the coverage and like the architecture and stuff, the vegetation definitely felt southern, but I don't know, I was kind of confused. I was like, how is this not Barshal? Like, I definitely thought it looked like Barshal, kind of. So I don't know, I tried moving, but I mean, there's not really anything else to look for. Like, every sign is just going to say Bagherat, and so if you're not able to find Bagherat, then yeah, that's it. But I think Feneb switches last second to Dhaka because he wasn't able to find it either. Luckily, I stay in Barshal and pick up some good points there because Bagherat was not too far away. Though, I mean, to be fair, with like the vegetation and the architecture, it did kind of feel like that southern area. So yeah, here we have a Kyushu pole top, Kyushu plate. Yeah, so back in Japan, I'm always happy to get some Japan rounds when I'm ahead on high multis, because you can be pretty confident in Japan. You know, you're not going to lose too many points because you can always move to find some useful information. Yeah, he didn't give me the time to look for anything beyond the region, but you know, we knew it's Kyushu, so it wasn't going to be too big of points. We both click in Kumamoto, and I think it ends up being just over the border in Kagoshima, but yeah, no points there. We keep moving. At this point, we're in round 9, and I think Feneb realizes he probably has to insta-send, unfortunately. We are in Italy here, and he insta-sends near Naples, but luckily I get to this sign here which says Sardinia, and then also says the town name here, Santa Terra Gallura, and I'm actually impressed. I found that very quickly. So we get the 5k there, basically, 499, but yeah, I mean, there's really not much you can do about that if I'm 5k'ing within like 10 seconds. So yeah, GG's to Feneb there. I think if he was playing moving like he normally would, I think it could have been a really close game there. But we will take the victory either way. And we go on into this no move game. And we start off in Thailand here. You have some Thai on that sign, but we also have Arabic and Chinese, which is very interesting. Don't know why there's Chinese on a mosque, but yeah. And then when we look at this green sign, which I don't immediately look at, but that green sign also has Burmese on it, which is crazy. I originally thought it was Loei, but then when I saw the Burmese, I was like, okay, it's probably near Myanmar. Um, and I don't know, it's just a very interesting round with so many different languages written on that sign. But I end up going in Kanchanaburi, but in hindsight, maybe with the Chinese, it makes more sense to be northern because you're really not that far away from China. When you get up to like the far north of Thailand. So yeah, we both end up going in Kanchanaburi, so it doesn't really hurt either of us. But yeah, it ends up being literally max north in Chiang Rai. Yeah, you're super close to the Chinese border there, actually, if you look at it. But yeah, very interesting location, a cool one. All right, next one is Bulgaria. We have those like tiled roofs. We also have a concrete pole with like the hooks in it, which is very common there. And I thought with the general landscape, kind of these rolling hills, it kind of reminded me of this area where I clicked. So, I thought I was pretty confident about that. Feneb goes a little more central, and yeah, I end up getting a really good guess there. Pick up some good points on round 2. Next one here, we have some French on this sign. We have some pines here. Now, these pines kind of feel more Mediterranean to me. And so I was definitely thinking somewhere around the Mediterranean coast. It makes sense with like the white soil as well, kind of a drier landscape, a little bit hilly. I was kind of debating whether it'd be like near Perpignan or Montpellier or closer to Marseille. I end up going near Marseille. Now, Feneb goes in the other area with pines, which is the French Triangle, which I can understand his guess. But yeah, I think they are a different species of pine there. So yeah, we end up 5K'ing there basically, which is, I mean, what can you do about that really? When I'm like 5K'ing most of the rounds. So yeah, we pull a pretty good lead here as we move into an Oman round. And Oman is very tricky. This round provides us with no information, and it's just that kind of central part of Oman where, the coverage seems to be really difficult. Like, there's a lot of off-roads, so it's not as easy as just learning a few of the main roads, because a lot of the off-roads look very similar. So yeah, I just kind of click central, kind of find an angle that slightly lines up, but more so I was just hedging there. And Feneb finds an angle which does match, but it's like max southwest. So unfortunately for him, it doesn't pay off this time around. Yeah, I really just hedged there, and pays off for me, fortunately. Next one here. So I immediately go and try and look for the copyright because I assumed this would probably be Germany, and it was 23. And this sort of architecture definitely feels northern, kind of western, a little bit of like a Dutch influence on some of the houses. So yeah, I was thinking probably Nordrhein-Westfalen here, uh, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, definitely with the architecture, I was kind of feeling around there somewhere. Um, and so I kind of zoom in at first. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking this area. I considered Ruhr Valley, but I think the houses kind of look a little different. And so I switched to Minster, which was a great choice there, and we barely pull out the victory there with a great region guess just based off the architecture. So really good one. I'm happy about that. So yeah, we pull out the 2-0 victory in a very convincing fashion. GG's to Feneb. Again, I would have loved to play him when he was at home at his normal setup, but yeah, we will take the 2-0 victory, obviously. And we go into our next game against Skill Issue. And we start off with a Brazil round here. So, you know, a little bit of a test. See how we can go against the Brazilian. He finds an 11 area code. I actually don't see any area code on this sign, but I do see that it says Embu Guasu there, and I recognized the Embu town name, and so I actually was able to find that. Really happy about that because literally the only thing to go off of there was, I mean, I knew it was probably Sao Paulo with like the poles, but yeah, the town name there, I actually managed to recognize and find. So yeah, that was really cool. Next one here, we have Mass Autobahn on the sign. So we knew we were going to be in Massachusetts. And we have this, it says North River as well on that sign. So I thought North River would be a pretty big river. It sounds familiar. Like I think there's probably is a pretty well-known North River somewhere, but I can't remember where. If you guys remember, just like let me know. But yeah, for some reason I thought that North River was findable, but apparently it wasn't. But we had a sign that also said the 3A, so I knew I could look for the highway. And we have the 2 over there, and it looks like 3 is over here. 3A, and there's the POI that says Mass Autobahn North River, whatever. And so we pretty much got the 5K there, and it ends up actually being a 5K. So yeah, there's a new 5K animation. Go into another US round here. So I'm loving that. You know, we'll always take some more US rounds. This one we had a Oregon Highway Shield, and we have Bend and Burns, and then also Redmond on that sign. So it lined up well for this town right here. I was just checking, but this intersection literally looks perfect there. And so we managed to get the 5K again. Really happy about that. 2 back-to-back 5Ks in the US. We will take that for sure. Not really much you can do there. Alright, next one here, we have the Bihar pole paint. A lot of Palmyra palms as well. We knew it was both Bihar immediately. We're not going to spend time on that one. So we just insta-click. This one, I checked this car over here, and it says Bergama Izmir. So it looks like we're in a town called Bergama. So I click here and just send. It ends up not being in Bergama, but I felt like with a local like construction van like that, you can probably trust it, and you'll know it's gonna be at least somewhat close. So we'll pull off a nice guess there. And yeah, it does help us out. And then this round here, we are in Sweden with the dashed lines. We get to this sign here. I mean, it's got some town names, but they're fairly small. I do see that the 119 is on this sign, but I have forgotten where the 100s are. I'm looking in the area with like the 2s. So yeah, I'm not really looking in the right area, but luckily it doesn't end up costing me. And we actually pull off the win with that. I mean, didn't get particularly close there, but we'll take the victory anyways. End up keeping the flawless. I think I also flawless in the no move game against Feneb, right? So we do 2 flawlesses overall. So nice, good way to start this game off as well. I was feeling very confident at this point. Maybe a little too confident, and so I do make a little bit of risky guesses in this no move game, which are, I don't know, maybe a little silly, but Yeah. This one here, we got Italian plates and Italian pole. It looks like we have water to the north, and we have this like very southern looking vegetation and architecture. I was definitely thinking like Sicily or adjacent, like somewhere around there. And I don't know, I kind of thought of like a craziest. I was like, what if this is Pantelleria? But I mean, it ends up not being in Pantelleria, but I don't know. I just went for it. I don't think there's any buildings this big in this on this island, but yeah, I mean, I just send there. Ends up being like pretty much as close as it could be on Sicily. So I mean, it was kind of a good guess. We kind of had the right vibe there, even though it wasn't quite right. We'll take that. Skill issue goes in the water as well, so we're just kind of both with some very interesting guesses there. This one here, I don't really know what I was doing. I kind of went a little too north. I'm notoriously bad at region guessing southern Chile, but still, I don't know why I'm sending this far north, to be honest. Uh, yeah, skill issue goes a little more south, which is the right call. I think it ends up being a lot more south, which I think in hindsight does make sense. But yeah, not the best guess by me, for sure. Alright, next round here, we are in Malaysia. And we have Sarawak poles here. And I don't know, I thought it kind of felt more northern in Sarawak, but to be honest, I mean, there's not really anything that lines up, like road angle wise here. So I don't know, I kind of risked by going a little too north here. Skill issue goes for a more central guess, which is probably the more reasonable guess in this case. I kind of go very far north there near Miri. I don't know why I sent that far north in hindsight. Again, I was just feeling very confident and kind of started risking a little too much there. So, yeah. At this point I realize I kind of have to lock in because we are a little bit behind. We got Greece here, Greek poles, some very interesting architecture here. Very cool, kind of unusual for Greece. But we have this ridge to our east here, which I recognize as being near this national park. So I mean, I tried kind of scanning for the 5K, but to be honest, I didn't really have to. I don't end up getting it anyways, but I knew it was going to be somewhere around here in this northwestern part of Greece. To be honest, like the landscape doesn't really remind me of northwestern Greece, so I kind of understand his guess. Like, yeah, I mean, really the only thing there was that I recognized the mountains, so yeah, we'll take that for sure. Next one here was Vientiane. We have that sort of Thai and Lao infrastructure, but we had a yellow plate and just sort of this red soil. Definitely feels like Vientiane. Not going to be any points there because we both know. We move on. This one was crazy. I mean, okay, so first of all, we're on a trekker. It's clearly some like very crazy landscape. Looks like an island for sure with this landscape. Um, don't recognize like any of the vegetation either. And I forgot that car. I really should have known the car, and to be honest, in hindsight with the soil, it does make sense as well. But we kind of have this like red volcanic looking soil, and I was trying to see where the sun angle was. I remember I looked at the sun quite a bit to try and figure out. It looked like it was slightly south, so I thought we were in the northern hemisphere here. And so the only thing I could really think of was Hawaii. even though I didn't recognize it, and I knew it probably wasn't Hawaii, but I didn't have a better guess. Skill Issue ends up going in like Southeast Asia, and none of us get like any points there. Yeah, literally zero. It's end up being Fernando de Noronha, which is an island off the coast of Brazil, which definitely makes sense with the vegetation and the red soil. But yeah, I mean, I just forgot about that. But yeah, we go into a Bangladesh round here. Love to see a Bangladesh round. And this sort of landscape, it's very open, very agricultural, just kind of an endless floodplain of rice. It's like that landscape in that area in like Max East Mymensingh, Max Northeast Dhaka, Western Sylhet. So yeah, I'm gonna, obviously gonna get a good guess on that. This one, I was a little confused here because it looks like another Vientiane round. I was like, seriously? Another Vientiane round? But yeah, I mean, everything checks out for Laos. And I try to make out if there's a yellow plate there or not. I mean, it's very hard to tell. It was definitely a harder Vientiane than the last round, but uh, yeah, I don't know. I was a little shocked, but I was like, I mean, I kind of have to send Vientiane here. So yeah, we got two Vientiane rounds in one game, which is interesting to say the least. But I mean, since I'm ahead, I'll definitely take that. We have Japan here. We have Tohoku plates. We have a ton of larches, which is very interesting. Definitely feels northern. And yeah, I don't know. I think it didn't quite feel like Aomori, so I was considering like Akita Iwate here. It doesn't look like we have any Akita bollards, so I kind of leaned towards Iwate, but I kind of hedged like the middle in between. And Skill Issue goes for the same guess there, so we both have a pretty good region guess there overall. He's a little closer, but it's not going to be a lot of points, and we're definitely in the driving seat here as we go into round 10. And unfortunately for Skill Issue, it is another Japan round. We have a Chubu sort of pull top there, but we also have this horizontal plate there. So I was like, okay, it's probably Nagano. And it does also make sense with the mountains to our east there. So yeah, I was thinking most likely that this would be Nagano. And yeah, I click in like the kind of central valley of Nagano there, and we end up being basically in the right town. So, I mean, I got a really good guess off there anyways, so I'm very happy about that. I think it was a good way to win it off, even though it was in Japan. And so yeah, we pull out the 2-0 victory there. Geez, the Skill Issue as well. Yeah, I mean, we played well. And I think, yeah, I mean, this week I had a lot more time to practice, so I was back in form, I would say. I hope to like continue this sort of form since now I'm on winter break, and yeah, we're gonna have some big games coming up soon, so gotta get ready for those. But yeah, looking good. So I'm excited for the next week. So yeah, all right, I'll see you guys.